Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Professor. You have really touched me with your words. Pastor Leonard and the rest, the previous speakers who have made their presentation. I'm so much honored to be here today to speak to you. In the first edition, I was an attendee. I listened to people and I took the lessons which were given in the first edition, and I'm glad it has transformed me today. I'm one of the speakers. So I'm going to talk about mindset, youth and mindset. As Job Lazarus has said, I'm called Jock Simon Peter, but you can briefly or shortly call me a founder Jock. I'm the founder of Young AI and also the founder of Mindset Change for Young Africans. So based on the conversation which has been going on, everything is revolving. I've just been laughing in the background. Everything is revolving about mindset. Now, I want to take you into details what really mindset is and give you an example or the example based on my experience on what I'm doing if you really possess a positive growth mindset. So to begin with, one great way we must support our fellow youth to arise and positively transform the world is by reminding them to practice a growth mindset. It takes time to develop a positive growth mindset, and we must not stop reminding our youth about growth mindset. Now, what is mindset? Mindset is a series of self-perceptions or beliefs people hold about themselves. We all have different beliefs, positive or negative, when we see something. So there are two types of mindset, the fixed mindset and positive growth mindset. Fixed mindset is the one which is really bad to us young people of Africa because it sees everything as being impossible. Everything looks impossible if you have a fixed mindset. That's something you are supposed to do. But again, you say it is impossible. This one cannot be achieved. You try to categorize it. This one can only be achieved by the white people. We do have that mindset a lot in our community. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in our potential. We don't believe in what we are capable of. You find a young person want to go and work in Germany, want to go and work in Canada, want to go and work in US. They say they can't work here, which is all right because of the mindset we have. To me, I have a belief. If Google can hire me now to work for them, how much can I do in Africa if I am to surrender myself, dedicate myself, and do all what it takes to make sure the skills Google want to hire me, the skill Google want to hire from me, I invest in Africa? I will transform thousands, millions of lives of young people. But because of the mindset we have, we will go to Google, Facebook, and do and work for them. And yet, we are from Africa, and we don't believe in what we are capable of achieving. So, that is the problem we have. But what is the power of mindset? Positive growth mindset. If you have positive growth mindset, what power will you possess? One, you were always putting yourself at the center of your life. You believe in yourself. You put your life in the center of everything. You're always taking responsibility. Reverend Walter talked about in his first, the 7 principles he talked about. The first one was taking responsibility. If and only if you have positive growth mindset. That is where you can take responsibility to create the reality. Investing in yourself individually. You are not afraid. You want to develop personally. Personal growth. You put yourself to develop and to become the person you really want to be. It only happens when you have positive growth mindset. Without that, it becomes difficult. If you have a fixed mindset, a lot of people from the university have heard about it several times. They continue to say it. If I complete this course, to hell with education, I won't continue. Because most especially people who are working and they are just looking for promotion to the next phase of their job, or for some, they're looking for increment in their job. They are not thinking about creating jobs for others. You can only create jobs for others if you have positive growth mindset of personal development. You want to develop yourself. That means you don't want to last long in a position which you are holding currently. So you are learning not to take disagreement so personally. You want to take agreement, not taking disagreement personally, making it personal. You disagree with somebody, becomes a personal matter. That man, you don't have the positive growth mindset. But if you do, you're always valuing equally the mistakes and successes you receive. You're accepting and valuing all parts of your life. You are discovering the power of acceptance. You are deducing. You are not being dreaded, or you are not being confused by self-worth or feeling. So that is the power we need in Africa, the growth mindset that we need in Africa. So let me take you through let me take you through a project which I'm doing. I said I'm the founder of Mindset Change for Young Africans. So what do I do in Mindset Change for Young Africans? I founded Mindset Change with a mission of igniting the minds of young Africans to be innovative. So I always encourage them, infiltrating them, that they have to believe in themselves. We young Africans, we must believe in our potential. So I've been asking myself also, what should I do to show that to the world? We really need to believe in ourselves. Then I decided one day, it was on July 7, 2022, I sat down and said, I need to set a goal. And my goal is very simple. Run for 500 days consistently without missing a single day. One, the mission or the vision or the goal is to explore the power of consistency. Every successful person talked about consistency. If you want to be successful, if you want to become successful, you must be consistent. If you are not consistent, you will not make it. Then commitment. Without commitment, you will never start. You need to be committed. So I set it as a goal, 500 days to run consistently. I never waited. I had to plan myself. Now, how am I going to achieve that? I had to set myself a rule, only single rule. That is, never miss or skip a day. That already calls for commitment. I've committed myself to run for 500 days consistently without missing or skipping a single day. Come rain, come sunshine. Now I had to lay down the plan for myself accordingly. How am I going to make it every day? So I started by dividing the 500 days into 5 different phases, with each taking 100 days. Now I said, okay, each phase take 100 days. The big problem is, if you tell anyone, even you, if I tell you now I want to run for 500 days, will you believe me now? I don't think so. So all people I tell them, they say, no, that one is impossible. Because of the fixed mindset we have. We don't want to dedicate ourselves. So after dividing my 500 days to 5 different phases, which is each of 100 days, it has become a little bit smaller, but still too big to be achieved at once. So again, I had to divide each phases into smaller components. I divided again the phases, each phase to 5 different routes, the routes which I'm going to run in. So that means each route will take me 20 days to complete, then I will go to another route. So that means if I'm able to run in all these 5 routes for 100 days, then phase 1 will be complete. And I would have covered 100 days. So I didn't wait to prepare myself maybe to start tomorrow to start next week or next month. I started immediately on July 7th, 2022. Today, 29th December 2022, I have made 176 days with 100% consistency. I've never missed even a single day of my journey, of my goal. I've maintained 100%. And as I talk now, I have covered 1,730.76 kilometers. I record every day. I carry out my record. I record the data that I record on a daily basis. I go for my road. The time I start, the time I stop, the stopwatch, what does it read? How many minutes has it taken me to finish? So I had to plan myself accordingly, and I've already set the milestones to complete this work right from day 1 up to the last date, which is 18th November 2023. That is the last day I will be making 500 days. So that means if I skip or miss by 1 day, I've already postponed or I've already added another day to complete my project. So are you committed in whatever you are doing? How are you measuring your progress every time you're doing what you plan to do or what you're already doing? What effort are you putting? Because me, on a daily basis, if I run, I do share with people in the group Mindset Change for Young Africans the journey, how I'm progressing every time, so that they can learn. You cannot be someone you want to be in a day. Professor have just said it, everything begins with a single dot. From a very small point of view. Then consistently, as you continue moving on, it becomes something very big. So let me take you through, I'm requesting to share my screen so that I can give you the insight of my data, what I'm collecting, and how it can shape your life starting now, not tomorrow. Maybe I'll give you a night to think about it, but tomorrow you need to begin following this. If it is okay, let me share my screen. So, I believe you can see my screen. Now, this is how I divided myself. First one is complete. I said I'm ready today. I've made 176 days. So this is how I started. On day 1, let me begin. This is phase 1, which takes 5 routes. We have route 1, which is 5.1 kilometer, route 2, 6.6 kilometer, route 3, 12.8 kilometer, route 4, 19.1 kilometer, and route 5, I reduce it to 3.3 kilometers. So what happens? Looking at day 1, on route 1, my starting point was 27 minutes, 58 seconds, 0.46 milliseconds. That was my starting point. But by the time I was completing, in 20 days, my base time came to 20 minutes, 50 seconds. So that means I was able to finish 7 minutes earlier compared to the first day. So at the beginning of everything you are doing, it is hard. Even education, it is hard when you have just joined a course. Everything is new, but every time you go and read, every time you go and do something, you will be getting familiar with. So that means on day 1, I was not familiar with the road. But as I continue moving, you can see how my time has been decreasing up to the last 20 days on route 1. Going to route 2, the same thing. My time was 29 minutes. But by the time I was completing, I completed 24 minutes. Route 3, 52, 12.8 kilometers. It took me 52 minutes to complete. But by the time I was reaching the 20 days, it took me 47 minutes. That means I had reduced my time by up to 3 minutes. And going to route 4, 19.1 kilometers. You can see how the distance has been moving. I'm not a professional athlete. I've never competed even at national level. My competition stopped at the district level. I could not even be in position 1. But after developing positive growth mindset, I started believing in myself. I think I can do this. So, looking at route 4 up to 19.1 kilometers, for the first time in my life, I ran, took me 82 minutes. By the time, through the 20 days, my best time was 75 minutes. And then route 5, I reduced it to 3.3 kilometers. So when I started, it took me 11 minutes, and my best time was 10 minutes 48 seconds, running 3.3 kilometers. That one is for phase 1. Now, if we compare with phase 2, because phase 2 I've started repetition, following the law of repetition. If you do something again and again and again and again, however difficult it is, definitely you will make a breakthrough. So when I came back to route 1 again, remember, in phase 1, it took me, my best time was 20 minutes. But after 80 days, after 100 days, okay, I could say 80 days, when I came back to route 1 again, my time was 18 minutes, 43 seconds. That means 2 minutes down I've already removed, because I'm consistent on a daily basis. I'm going for it. Every morning I wake up and I go for it. Every morning I wake up and I go and run. So by the time I was completing another 20 days on route 1, my best time came 17 minutes, 45 seconds. This was the time I could not run on day 1. On day 1, it took me 27 minutes. But after about 100 days, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm finishing 10 minutes earlier at 17 minutes, 45 seconds. So on route 2, on phase 1, when I come back on phase 1 here, my best time was 24 minutes. But when I came back on route 2, my best time became 23 minutes. And by the time I was finishing, I finished with 22 minutes, 47 seconds. And remember, I'm still in phase 2. I have phase 3 to run. I have phase 4 to run. Then I have phase 5 to run. Now, can you start predicting now? Will my time continue decreasing every day I go for it for the 500 days? If it is true, in phase 5, by the time I reach phase 5, what could be my speed? Could it have reduced up to this limit or to the standard of the international standard, where I can go and compete with our fellow Africans? Joshua Cheptegei, Kiplimo from Uganda, Cheptegei from Uganda, Kipchoge in Kenya. Can I go for 42-kilometer marathon? So consistency, commitment and consistency. You can see now where it is leading me to. So going to phase 3, when we compare with the one in phase 1, I had 52 minutes at the start and 47 minutes when I completed my best in phase 1. But in phase 2, I'm beginning from 46. I've already reduced by 1 hour. Then my best time came in, I think, 44 minutes, 58 seconds. Still, there's improvement. Every time and again, there's improvement. And then finally, currently, I'm on route 4. So, my best time here was 75 minutes. running 19.1 kilometers. But now, when I came back in phase 2, my time has reduced to 71 minutes 42 seconds. And as per now, my best time is 71 minutes 33 seconds, running 19.1 kilometers. And for the last 2 days, I've increased the distance to 21.3 kilometers. That is,